Back to Pure Nebraska. Here on the show, we'd like to take time to hear from a volunteer from the farm women's group Common Ground. The organization is working to get a positive message out about agriculture.
Normally, we welcome a member of the Common Ground group into our studio for a live interview, but this time we are taking you out to the farm of Common Ground volunteer Leslie Boswell. Here's my story on why Leslie enjoys helping bring in the corn harvest by getting behind the wheel of the combine.
Of course, harvest is a busy time in Nebraska, and so we caught up with Leslie Boswell near Shickley, Nebraska. Got you off your combine, actually.
You did.
So thanks for stopping for us today.
Glad to. Welcome to the farm.
Yeah, so you are a Common Ground volunteer.
Yes.
Involved in many activities, and you also help farm.
Yes, I do.
So tell us what you're doing right now.
This is the harvest time. My husband and I farm together, and we've got about 1,000 acres, and it's just the two of us. We do whatever needs to be done, and during harvest time, I run the combine. As long as I can keep the combine moving, I feel like we're making progress, and that way he messes with the carts and augers and trucks, and I just keep going.
No kids helping?
We have, my husband's got a daughter that lives here in Shickley, and during corn harvest, she and her husband and one of their sons now comes out and helps drive grain cart.
So what's the season like for you? When does it start? When do you look forward to getting done usually?
For harvesting, it varies a lot depending on the summer and on the weather. But we like to get started by the end of September with the beans, and as soon as the beans are done, then we'll move on to corn, and we hope to be done by middle of October.
What's it like when things do go wrong? I was raised on a farm. I heard some choice words between my grandparents, my mom and dad. I mean, that happens sometimes, especially when you're working so closely. It's a team effort.
It is a team effort, and sometimes frustration builds, and sometimes when things go wrong, it's not always at a good time. Breakdowns, especially on weekends and evenings, and when you can't get parts all the time, but you just have to work with it. It's going to happen. You just have to know that. You have to take it in stride and do the best you can to get back to moving again.
And Leslie, you've always been around farm life, right? You're from a farm. What's it take for you to drive a combine like this? I mean, I think to a lot of women, they see this huge piece of farm equipment and they're like, wow, how do I begin to learn to do this?
As far as I'm concerned, it's the easiest part of harvest. I think you'd find that a lot of farm women are the combine operators.
As a Common Ground volunteer, what do you tell women and the new generation coming up about farming and working as a team?
It can be trying at times, but it's also very rewarding.
What time do you start in the morning, and when do you hope to get done at night?
With corn harvest, we'll get started probably 8:30, 9 o'clock. And like last night, we got out of the combine about 9 o'clock, and I still have supper and dishes and laundry and stuff like that to do at night. So it makes it kind of a long day.
And what do you listen to when you're working?
I like to listen to KRVN. There's a lot of news, a lot of markets, a lot of information, a lot of weather. And they play a lot of the older country songs that I like to listen to, as opposed to the stations that play the top 10 over and over and over.
My dad would be right there with you.
Yes.
So, right. Leslie, thank you for letting us stop here by Shickley today and see how harvesting's going. We appreciate it.
I'm glad to have you here.
Yeah, and our thanks to Leslie Boswell for that interview, and I enjoyed that perspective of, what she listens to in the cab.
We also asked her about lunch,
Yeah.
That's always a big part of it.
And she mentioned that they just kind of snack through most of the day, maybe get a meal at night, but kind of keep going all day long. So, it takes a lot of patience for a farmer to stop the combine and come and do a TV interview right in the middle of the harvest. So we appreciated that. I don't think it slowed them down, though.
No, they're very nice, very welcoming.
Yes.
It was a neat perspective
Had a
there.
good time.